Hi, this is Justine from Two Lucky Cats, and I'm going to show you how to make a pillow sachet. Go to our website and get the pattern. The pattern is free, and the information sheet that goes with this video. I did want to point out that I made one square with an insert, but you only need to cut one like that for the front. And for the back, you just want to cut out the square without cutting the insert. Let me just go over the pieces that you're going to need to make a sachet. You need the back piece here, a square, and then you're going to need the front piece, which is the square with the insert cut out. Now, to start it, you just fold it, make a little snip in the felt, and then you can cut out the insert. Then you're going to need one of these large flowers, and then 4 of the smaller flowers, and then you'll need 8 leaves. The other thing that you're going to need, which I didn't include a pattern for, is a piece of this tulle or netting. And you need to cut it just a little bit smaller. It doesn't have to be perfect because you're not going to see it anyway, than the square. And we're going to hand stitch it in place. The reason I put an insert in is because the felt is a rather thick fabric, and I wanted this insert so the fragrance of the potpourri can come out into the air more. So the hardest part of this whole project, I think, is cutting the netting. And I found if you kind of fold it, you can cut it easier. And just cut it like that. And just cut a piece that's a little bit smaller than the square. Okay, now that you have all the pieces, we're going to start putting the sachet together. Alright, now the first thing that you want to do, if you're anything like me, you're going to need a guide to keep your stitches straight. And I'm just going to take my quilting ruler and my trusty disappearing marker and draw a square around the insert here that's about, say, 3/8 of an inch on each side. So I just draw this, and then I come down and draw this, and then I do the same thing here with the other end. There we go. And we're just going to pick the net up, put it on the back, and then pin it down. Oh, this stuff is hard to see. Okay. We're just going to put it down here, and then we'll pin it to make sure it stays in place. Then we're just going to start at one of the corners and then sew it with a running stitch all the way around the edges here. And that's going to hold the tulle in place. The next thing we're going to do is sew on the flowers and then the leaves. So we're just going to place the flowers on wherever it goes. And sewing these on is also going to help keep the tulle in place. So just put your flowers on. Put one here, and put this up a little further because, as you see, I have 2 here. And then you're just going to use about maybe 4 or 5 beads and start here from the bottom, and then do about maybe 4, 5, 6 beads, how many you want. Do these 3, and then once you sew this one down, you can just position it so you can see this beaded center here and sew that down. Then, once you get your flowers in place, you can start putting on the leaves. Now, I wanted to show you a bigger picture here of what I did. And again, I just used my disappearing marker to draw on the leaves. And since these leaves are so small here, I figured it might be just a little bit too small for you to see it real well. So I just made a design like this, and here's the bigger picture. I just started here and made like a circle around like that to create this design on the leaves. And again, this will help hold down the tall that you have here in the insert. Now, if you don't feel that you can draw these, I know some people just can't draw, but it is pretty simple. But if you don't like that, or you don't feel you can draw it, you can just start here and do a line. And again, unless you're really great at it, I just don't trust myself to draw without, or to use a sew here and get a straight line. So you might just want to draw a line with your disappearing marker. And then, as you can see with the ones I've already done, you can just lift it up, and I just hold it back and position it where you want it to be, like that. Then you can just pull it back again, and I just hold it down with my finger like this, and then start and do a running stitch here just around the design. And just do it for each one of these leaves that you have. So that completes the decoration stage of the pillow sachet. Alright, now that you've decorated the top, the only thing left to do is to sew the back and the front together. And I started on this side, the side where the bigger flower is, and then I just did an overcast stitch with a bead every third stitch all the way over to here, and then I knotted it off. I want to have this larger space so I can fill the pillow with potpourri. Once I filled it, then you can sew the edge here. If you want to leave a space where you can refresh the potpourri, because the fragrance does fade after a period of time, you can start here and then sew over to here and knot it off, and then start stitching again. Because if you want to open it up and freshen up the potpourri, you only have to restitch it from this point on. So there it is. That's all it's required to make a pillow sachet. You can put it in your clothing. You can hang it, put a ribbon on it and hang it from a doorknob, or you can make some and give them away as gifts. Now that you've made your sachets, you're going to want to fill them with potpourri. You can always buy potpourri, but if you'd like instructions on how to make a simple sachet potpourri, we have another video on that, so come back and watch that. Once you have your potpourri, you can just fill the end here, and then stitch the end the same way as you've done the rest of it. Now, if you want to hang your sachet from a doorknob or from your bedpost, you can just take two ribbons about 8 inches long, and then just do a running stitch to hold them in place for each end. And then you can close the end of the sachet the same way that you did the rest of it. So I hope you come back and see us again soon. We have a lot of projects on our website, so go check it out. We're always adding new ones. Hope to see you again soon here at Two Lucky Cats.